I and many others have made a lot of videos about how the skateboarding industry is declining. At first it was a bit of speculation, but now it is definitely objective fact. We've seen legacy brand after legacy brand dying, fewer pros able to make a living, and an overall decline and disinterest in the culture. It does seem kind of strange since skateboarding is now an Olympic sport and there are more amazing skateboarders in the world than ever before. Today I want to propose a theory as to why I think this is the case. It's a little bit out there, so get your tinfoil hats ready. Believe it or not, my dad actually planted this seed into my brain, and now that he mentioned it, I can't let it go. I'm 34 years old and I've been skating for 25 years, but first, I want to tell you a little bit of the pipeline, how I got started. When I was a young child, my parents bought me a bunch of toys, and one of them happened to be this crappy skateboard with plastic trucks. We'd sit on the skateboard and ride down the hill, and we didn't really think too much of it until something changed. Later on in my life, I was led to a situation where I saw the PlayStation 1 game Tony Hawk's Pro Skater after it came out. I was completely enamored by this game, but in particular, when you first turn it on, the real life videos of the skaters doing tricks. Something went off in my mind and I finally realized what this skateboard was actually for, and at 8 years old that ignited the spark within me and put me on my skateboarding journey. Slightly older teenagers get into skating in a similar way, but instead of using a skateboard as a toy, they use it for a different purpose: transportation. When you're a young teenager, it's hard for you to actually get around and have autonomy over your life. Maybe you're not quite ready for public transport and you don't want your parents driving you everywhere. So you have a couple of manual options that you can get: a skateboard or a bike. Skateboard tended to be a lot cheaper and easier and smaller, and the perfect way for you to get to the corner store or to your friend's house faster than walking. Once you're using a skateboard to get around, it's literally only a matter of time before you realize on your own that you should try some tricks, or you see a piece of skate media that opens your mind about what skateboarding actually could be, and then you get fully hooked. Maybe I'm a little bit out of touch as a grown man, but technology has changed how kids grow up now. From early ages, they're on iPads, computers, gaming, social media, watching YouTube. The idea of playing outside with the neighbor kids until the street lights come on feels like something that doesn't really exist anymore and is from the boring old past. I have a little bit of a strange piece of evidence like this, but I feel like when I was younger, I would see kids with broken arms and casts literally all the time. They're falling out of trees, falling off bikes, falling off their skateboard, and breaking their wrist. But now I really feel like I don't see little kids with casts anymore. Maybe I'm misremembering things, but I really feel like it's so much more rare these days. But the cultural shift of kids being more enamored by technology and less active outside is only one of the reasons here. There are still a lot of kids that do want to go outside and do want to get to their friend's house. But now in this technological age, we don't need a skateboard or a bike anymore. We have e-bikes and e-scooters. If I was a kid today, I would definitely want an e-bike. Are you kidding me? Look how cool this is. This is unbelievably amazing. It's basically like a dirt bike, but now I'm allowed to own it and ride it. Like, this is crazy. Before on your skateboard or analog bike, you could only really go a couple of miles to your friend's house. But now with an e-bike, you almost have the same amount of freedom as if you were to own a car, which doesn't happen until you're way later in life. E-bikes have become super popular with the youth and are getting more and more affordable. You can get a cheap Chinese e-bike for literally a few $100s, an e-scooter for even less, and if you wanted to buy a second-hand one off Facebook Marketplace, you could get it really cheap. So when we replace this pipeline of using a skateboard as transportation to now we're using e-bikes as transportation, it does kind of really reduce this period of like, maybe they will get into skating. To go from e-biking to skating is a bit more of a big jump. I don't really know what to make of this, and it is all just me really speculating, and it's kind of a hard thing to prove. On Google Trends, I searched the term skateboard versus e-bike since 2004, and you can kind of see the trend line for yourself. But more than the data, it just really does feel like the kind of vibe. I visited a lot of skate parks in many different countries, and honestly, they do seem to be trending to get emptier and emptier. I've even heard horror stories of skate parks getting demolished to build pickleball courts. But maybe that's a story for another time. But still, I don't think skateboarding will ever truly die. Even if the industry fully collapses, there's still gonna be this cult following of skaters who love it and will do it no matter what. I try to keep things positive on this channel, so if you ever have been wondering wondering about skateboarding, this is your sign. Growing up, skateboarding taught me a lot about the world. It gave me confidence, community, and a way to explore life. It had a huge positive impact on me, and I couldn't recommend it enough. But that is pretty much it for my crazy theory. A skate theory. It's just been this interesting idea floating in my head for a while, and shout out to my dad for bringing it up. But let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. Am I way off? Do you have some firsthand experience? What's your vibe? But that is it. I like skate.